Hey Misfits, Tony Craft here. Thanks for coming to my channel. It's officially October. The hair is now black. So for October, I thought we would do a spooky questions tag. So this tag was created by Simply Kenna, and it's called the Spooky Halloween Tag. So let's start. Woo! All right. Name something you wouldn't want to run into in a dark forest or in an abandoned building. I probably wouldn't want to run into anything in either of those places. Gosh, I mean, another human would be terrifying, especially in a dark forest. That would be terrifying. I think that's my final answer. Another human. I would not want to run into another human. Have you ever played with a Ouija board? I'm sure I have, but I can't remember any specifics, so it must not have been very exciting. I guess nothing happened. I mean, I kind of think Ouija boards are fake. I mean, I do. I'll admit that. I think Ouija boards are fake. I mean, they're cool looking. The creepiest thing that's ever happened while you were alone. I'm going to tell my best ghost story, but it didn't happen while I was alone. It actually happened with another friend, but let's just ignore that part of the question. So we lived in this creepy log cabin in New Hampshire, but me and my brother always just felt like it was super creepy there. But anyways, it was creepy. It was out in the middle of the woods. You know, no one could hear you screaming, kind of thing. We didn't have curtains, so it'd be pitch black, woods everywhere, and if someone was standing there looking in, you wouldn't be able to see them, which is what always creeps me out. So anyway, I had a friend over after school, and we were sitting on the back of my couch kind of looking into the kitchen, and we were just sitting there to, trying to figure out what to do, where to go, whatever. We were just, middle schoolers, and all of a sudden I got a, creepy feeling, and I could tell that my friend got a creepy feeling too, and we both just kind of sat there, and I kind of saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I said to her, "Don't look over there." And of course, right at that moment, we both looked over, and at that moment, this big blue glowing light went whoosh, 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 and down the stairs. Sorry, I did that wrong. Whoosh, 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 and down the basement stairs. And we both screamed and ran out of the house and basically ran all the way to town. Yeah, so it wasn't creepy. I mean, it felt creepy at the time, but it wasn't menacing. It wasn't a menacing feeling, but it was definitely unexpected and weird. And that experience, pretty much alone, makes me a believer in ghost energy. If you were dared to spend the night in a haunted house, would you do it? Not alone. I would do it with other people. Yeah, I would. Because people don't get killed in haunted houses. Those are just the stories, right? I mean, you might get to see something cool and get the pants scared off you. So yeah, I would do it. Are you superstitious? I don't think I'm really that superstitious. I do have a few things, I have a lucky number that I choose, when I have a chance to choose numbers, I guess. But I don't think I'm that superstitious. Do you ever see figures in your peripheral vision? Yes, I do. Actually, just yesterday, I kept seeing something out of the corner of my eye, and I was like, God, why? Stop. Have you ever made a potion of any sort? I probably have. When I was 14, 15, I got really into Wicca, and I've always been kind of a religionless kid, and so Wicca spoke to me in some way at that point, and kind of introduced some sort of spirituality which I could understand, some sort of female spirituality, and so I'm sure that I made potions back then, but potions are a lot less involved and weird than you might think. It's not like eye of toad and finger of child or anything like that. It's usually rose hips and geranium oil Do you get scared easily? The older I get, the more scared of everything I am, for sure. I definitely get spooked out sometimes for no reason, specifically in my own bedroom. I'll go through phases where it's just like a couple months where I feel like a certain corner of my room is scary, which is so dumb, I guess. I mean, I'm in my late 30s. And then when me and my brother are together, we get spooked out sometimes together. My mom actually lives, like part of her property is on a cemetery, a really, really old cemetery in New Hampshire. So I've been around a lot of spooky stuff, and so I don't know, what scares me I guess isn't like what would normally scare someone, you know? Like I wouldn't be scared to sit outside in her yard, which is also like the cemetery, at night. That doesn't bother me. But something random, like I'll be talking to someone and all of a sudden, you know, all the hairs on my arms stand up, like that kind of stuff creeps me out. Have you ever played Bloody Mary? Yes, me and my cousins used to play Bloody Mary all the time. And now I realize that that's maybe kind of weird because that scares people. But yeah, we used to do it all the time. Like we really hoped that we would see the creepy Bloody Mary lady. Do you believe in demons / the devil? No, I do not. You're home alone, but you hear footsteps in your house. What do you do? If I was in the kitchen, I would grab the biggest butcher knife I had, and I would call the police. If I'm alone, like my kids aren't there or whatever, I'd probably just go outside, I guess. That's kind of creepy if it's nighttime, though. Yeah, I guess it depends on where in the house I am. If you could only wear one Halloween costume for the rest of your life, what would you be? I have this unicorn onesie that's like really big and baggy, and it's the softest thing in the world, so definitely that. Absolutely. Oh, funny. Would you ever go to a graveyard at night? Yes, I have done that many, many times. I actually went on a date in a graveyard once. Ooh. Would you rather go to a Halloween party or go trick-or-treating? Halloween party, for sure. I'm a social person. In a horror movie, are you the final girl, the first to die, the comic relief, the skeptic, the smart one, or the killer? I think I'm probably a mix of two. I'm probably the skeptic and the smart one. The skeptic in horror movies is usually kind of like to a fault, you know, they're like, oh yeah, sure, and then they get killed. So I'm not that kind of skeptic, but I hope to be the smart one. Okay, do you have to watch something happy after watching a horror movie so you can go to sleep? Yeah, and I can't even watch horror movies anymore. I can't do it. Like the older I get, the more that kind of stuff just feels too gory. I don't know, like I don't want that kind of violence in my life. I think that's what it is. It's really about the violence. It just gets under my skin. How old were you when you saw your first horror movie? I don't know exactly how old I was, but it was when the first Freddy Krueger movie came out. So I guess I was maybe like 7. And I don't know why I was allowed to watch Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, it's a pretty weird, scary movie, but life was different back then. What was your first Halloween costume? I think my first, like as a baby, was a black cat, but the first one that I remember picking out was something called the Hoblin Goblin. And people from the 80s might know what I'm talking about. The Hoblin Goblin, I remember it had a mask that you would wear, and then the outfit was like this plastic crappy thing. It was like a plastic cape or something. And I loved that outfit so much that I wore it. I think I wore it for like 3 Halloweens in a row. The Hoblin Goblin. I should look that up. I wonder what the Hoblin Goblin is. It must have been a book or something. What are you going to be for Halloween this year? I don't know. I'm gonna miss some of my normal Halloween festivities this year because I'm going to a wedding out of state, which is not Halloween themed, so I don't get to dress up there either. But I do have the aforementioned unicorn onesie, and I have a bunch of other stuff too. So on trick-or-treating night, we'll probably bring the kids out, and I guess it depends on if it's hot or cold out. I'll either wear the onesie or something else. I don't know. I have like a Napoleon Dynamite wig and some other stuff, so who knows? Okay, for the last question, if you could have a spooky Halloween pet, black cat, owl, bat, rat, wolf, what would you pick? I guess, well, okay, so I have cats and I have dogs, which is like a wolf. Owls freak my youngest out, so not an owl. She loves bats, but rats make pretty good pets, so I think I would pick a rat. And that is all the spooky Halloween questions. So I hope you've enjoyed this. One of these days I'll think of some vlog topics that aren't question and answers, but for now this is easy. You know, I work all day and came home and had a little bit of energy and a little bit of makeup on, so I said, well, you know, I might as well do a quick thing, so I just looked it up. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys around. I hope you guys have an awesome October. And again, thanks for watching.